losing a home you really want to buy, it can sometimes be avoided. There's just one thing you have to be willing to do. Wake News real estate expert Denny Grimes here to tell us exactly what that is. You plan ahead is what you want to say.
Planning ahead is a great thing, and actually it's really something pretty simple. It's called a backup offer. And it's not unusual that we'll have multiple offers come in on a property. One is a winner, the rest are, quote, losers. And generally those buyers just kind of walk away, all those offers stay in a file, and they say, well, if the house comes back on the market, call me.
But that's not enough time.
No, by the time it comes back on the market, bad things can happen. So if you're a buyer, there's a lot of advantages for a buyer and a seller to take the backup offer to the next level, which is a backup contract.
And that's what you say you should really have. Make a contract and have it ready to go.
Right. And basically what that is, there's an existing contract on it, a backup offer comes in and is totally ratified by the seller. So what that means and what advantages is all the details have been negotiated, price, terms, the seller's going to leave the grand piano and the ice cream scoop collection that's nailed to the wall, all that stuff's been negotiated. So all the heavy lifting is over with. So it is contractual. So if the first offer falls through, you automatically fall into line with the contracts. You don't have to go back and renegotiate.
So both sides have some peace of mind with this.
Absolutely. The other advantage for the buyer particularly is they don't have to worry about it coming back on the market and another multiple offer situation taking place. And Murphy's Law takes over too. Like, for example, if the contract one were to fail, Murphy's Law says it will fail at the worst possible time for the buyer, number two, to step in there. They can't be reached. And by the time they hear about it, another contract's been placed on it. So it relieves all that hassle and headache. And the third advantage to the buyer and seller, it gives them peace of mind. Peace of mind to the buyer because they know they have it locked in. But for the seller, this is great ammunition for the seller because if buyer number one gets to be pesky and pushy, they have a little leverage and they don't have to be pushed around because they have somebody else that wants to buy the home. Also, if the seller has two contracts on the home, the likelihood at least one of them closing is going to be good. So it gives the seller peace of mind.
Yeah, and I guess it just requires a little bit more work. I mean, you just have to get it submitted and ask that it be submitted.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of backup offers. It does take more work for the agent to do, and it's really important, the last what I call my danger Will Robinson warning if you're going to have a backup contract is you must have the wording in there, if the buyer finds another property prior to this contract becoming in first position, then they can release this and this contract's null and void. Because nothing worse than having a backup contract without that clause and they're tied in until that house closes, they can't buy another house. So lock in the house you like with a backup contract with that clause in it and go out shopping and find something better, just release it and go on with your life.
Kind of works for both sides.
It works. It's a win-win all the way around.
Well, it's good advice. It's not used, so maybe it should be.
But used like a 2-iron.
Not very often.
Not very often.
All right, Denny, thanks for coming in. Appreciate the good advice. We're coming right back to update the weather, traffic, and your top stories. You're watching Wake News This Morning on WXCW.